While there are a bunch of mixed emotions and controversial opinions on the new Expanded Universe series, Race and Rescue, we all have to admit that Mattel has done a great job this year in terms of pushing out these singles cases and 2-packs cases for that matter on time and ahead of schedule. A case W here I just revealed not too long ago, which means this case wasn't supposed to come out until July. And oftentimes when we get later on in the year, the cases fall behind schedule, as we saw last year, and distribution last year really struggled with Target not getting in about half of the singles cases, Walmart getting in very limited amounts, and we already know they have the half versions of the case, like literally just down the middle, random, doesn't really make sense, there's no rhyme or reason, like not always are the new cars included in those half cases. So with Target getting in every single case this year, ahead of schedule, it's been kind of a big deal. Now, if you live outside the United States, things vary a little bit, but Australia has been doing well. Europe, I'd say, Canada as well. So good stuff all around. And let's dive in here with the unboxing of 2025 Singles Case W from GetMeCollecitlbes. I'll leave his contact info in the description below if you want to reach out to him about purchasing a full sealed box like this or just checking out his eBay store and picking out which ones you want on a singular basis. Perfectly cool, whichever you want to do. But everyone always tends to ask me where I get these boxes from. All you got to do is listen about 90 seconds into the video. So 95DWW indicates the 24 exact cars in this case. You could follow along with the contents in the description below. Made in Thailand, there are 24 cars in most singles cases that you'll find at stores except for Walmart. There are a couple random stores, probably regional chains that get in half cases as well. But Target, Meijer, H-E-B, Fred Meyer, etc. are going to get in these full 24 count cases, which we love to see. Full is good, half is no bueno. All right, let's see where we're going to start. We're going to start on the top because I see a lot of new stuff there on the bottom, but we don't want everything spilling out. That would not be good. Don't want to damage anything here. This is going to be, I think, a pretty nice case. There's a lot of new stuff from what I remember, and W stands for win, and this is going to be a win. That's exactly what we're doing today. We are winning. Maybe not quite yet, though. We're not winning with 2 Sallys, a common peg warmer here in the U.S. Not much to say about her, as we literally get her in pretty much 80% of the cases. I wish they did the Thailand variant of Sally that is included in the Walmart 5-pack. Slightly different, more accurate model of Sally, but instead they are continuing to use this traditional version that's a little flatter, a little more pancakey, but yeah, I mean, it's literally what we've gotten for years and years and years and years. Oh, Sally. On the back, you got your traditional Cars 1 2025 cast of characters. Davey Apex / Dave Alternators, Sally, Cars 1 McQueen, Fillmore, Winford, Bradford, Rutherford, and Sheriff. So, beautifully put here. 2 Sallys. You know what I would love if one of these was like a no eyes air? Pulling an air out of a case is always incredible. Does not happen much. It's happened to me, I think, twice over the course of ever since I started buying sealed cases, which quite some time ago now, probably around 10 years, dependent on availability, as not all sealed cases become available for purchase through resellers. Now, I will say, Case T, which was a few cases ago, was not available at the time it came out in stores at Walmart and Target, but has since become available from resellers like GetMeCollecitlbes. Just was not willing to wait that long, although, I mean, nothing really stopping me from unboxing it now. I just kind of already did the case video on that where I showed every single car from that case. But anyways, moving on here. We have one Rust-eze Lightning McQueen. Another one that, you know what, I really don't see too many of. Maybe I'm just distracted by all the Piston Cup racers. Like if I see a Lightning McQueen, I just gloss over it, whether it be Cars 1, Rust-eze, Lightning McQueen with sign. Just kind of like goes in one eye and out the back of my head. Kind of focus more on, the Piston Cup peg warmers that stand out a little bit more. But yeah, Rust-eze Cruz and Jackson chilling on the back. Now here's a phenomenal inclusion, and I will reiterate that Race and Rescue Mater has been extremely rare. This is the first car to go from any case V that is stocked on the pegs right now. Not saying it's necessarily going to cost you an arm and a leg if you were to purchase it on eBay, probably maybe 15 to 20 bucks, but finding this one is quite the accomplishment. I have found a lot of Case V throughout the stores, and I have yet to find one of these. I have found plenty of chicks, plenty of Lightning McQueens from the Race and Rescue line, plenty of these two, but I've not found a single Mater yet. He is extremely popular, and with this inclusion here in the very next case, that's a really big deal, actually. That's awesome. Very happy that they decided to double up back-to-back cases. They usually don't do that with new releases. Like, Jonathan Gearson, for example, was not included in back-to-back cases. It took a while for him to come back. In fact, I think he's not coming back until the next case. X, I think it is, if I remember correctly. But what irks me about this is that I obviously already opened up my one rally or Race and Rescue Mater from case V, and it was on a perfect card. This one is not. So, yep, that's just the game you play. But I will say, at least this one's mirrors are also a little dinged. For whatever reason, all the Race and Rescue Maters have kind of like a wear and tear on the side view mirrors. Both sides, I don't know if it's just rubbing up against the packaging or whatnot. Let me know how your Race and Rescue Mater looks in terms of the side view mirrors there. But point being, it's great to see him back, and it makes this case pretty solid in terms of bang for your buck, as we'll see here, with red down there. There's some good stuff and some good, meaty cars in this case, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Here we have Lightning McQueen with a shovel, so his return now, although he's already returned, I think. What case was he in? He was in case V. No. Yeah, he's in case V, and now he's back in W, which really doesn't make any sense, because debuted in case T, skipped out on case U, V and W so far. So we'll see if he comes back again, which would be crazy for just a random Thailand variant of McQueen. I mean, it's a nice one. I really like it, but he has not been too hard to find ever since that initial release. And yeah, here we are with another one. All right, then. I do like how they executed this with the expression and the gravel detailing along the sides, but obviously the shovel color is still inaccurate both on the card art and the die cast, even though in the movie it is yellow, as we all know. And on the back, you got some other Cars 1 folks like Daryl, Mario, Dexter Hoover, Lightning Ramon, who is in case V, Pit Crew Sarge, and Christina Whelan. Christina Whelan, Pit Crew Sarge, I think all of those are in case V, to be frank, if I remember correctly on that. And now we've hit a little bit of a Piston Cup patch with Claude Scruggs here for Leakless. And yeah, he is kind of part of the peg warming problem. Look at all that alliteration. The Piston Cup patch, peg warming problem. Yeah, I mean, they've just included Claude and Floyd up there in a lot of cases and sometimes doubled up on them. So these have been very plentiful at Target stores across the U.S., and it's unfortunate. I mean, Piston Cup racers traditionally have sold very well. They're some of the most popular cars outside of new cars that Mattel puts out, and it's just, the oversaturation of Piston Cup racers over the last couple years is really something to be studied. Mattel just swung way too far in the other direction after, picking up on this, and then just kind of capitalizing on it and then taking it a bit too far. A bit too far, definitely with two Floyd Mulvihills in this case. It's not the first case by a long stretch Floyd has been in, and I'm pretty sure there were two of him in a previous case. So, no bueno. Especially for a racer who has been released from Thailand before in that 2-pack with Krusty Rotor some time ago. Might have even gotten another Thailand release. Not quite sure. But on the back here, you got some more slim hood, misclassified as a Cars 1 release. See, the thing is, I have to say the same stuff in every video because they don't change up the card backs, which is fine. I'm happy that we don't have to collect new card variants every single case. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys get a little tired of me saying some of the same stuff over and over again, but can't always assume I have the same exact viewers every video. Some videos get way more views, so clearly some people are watching different ones than others. But yeah, not a big fan of all of those piston cut racers. But you know what's awesome, and you could see it right here. This is pretty cool. I remember I remarked about this when I revealed the case on May 1st, I think it was. Yep, 2 months before the scheduled release, July 1st. Grem and Acer being included in the case together here. And coincidentally, or maybe not, they are right next to each other up there. I don't know if that'll be for every case, but I would assume they're all packed in kind of the same order. But yeah, this is great, guys. Obviously, Grem and Acer, two of the main two Professor Z minions in Cars 2. They are almost always seen together in the movie. There are not many scenes where they're separated. There, I think, are a couple, but really, I mean, they are tied at the hip. So seeing them literally tied at the hip here is pretty cool. And both were new Thailand variants this year, so it's great to have them back. Case T for Grem, Case S for Acer. So they were in consecutive cases, and now they've united. Really cool. I think Grem is one of the best Thailand variants that Mattel has ever done. So if you don't believe me, check out my review. Or if you do believe me and just want to learn more, check out my review on him. I think they just did a really nice job. On the back, you have Otis, Acer, and Grem. 3 lemons, 2 of which evil. 1 of them completely harmless. And here we have Acer. I found a lot of both of these guys, Walmart and Target, which was nice. I mean, both of them were included in that half case for S and T. So Walmart got them in. And yeah, were not hard to find for me. Because Acer came out first, that's why Grem is not on the back of his packaging. And yeah, he's also a nice Thailand variant. I think they did a solid job. Maybe not quite as exceptional as with Grem, but still really good. And probably, I would say, an improvement over the Chinese version. Rust-eze Cruz is here, as foreshadowed on the back of Rust-eze Lightning McQueen. I just would like to see maybe a different... Woo! What is that? What is that? Is that just some crud on her roof there and eyes? That is interesting, guys. I don't know if I would constitute this as an air, but it's certainly not something you see every day. Just some like grit that got trapped inside the blister there. I don't think those are scratches. No, I literally think that's like dirt. Huh. That's when you know it's bad, that you get excited about dirt on a car. But, I mean, that is kind of something unique that you don't really see, like, ever. Unfortunately, the card is creased pretty badly in the back here. Interesting. Don't really see cards get creased that badly in these cases anymore unless it gets throttled about. But usually then there's a bunch of ones that are affected. This one seems to be an isolated incident. So, I don't know. Maybe there's some correlation with the dirt and it being creased, like maybe she snuck out. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but I kind of feel obligated to keep this one and not, donate it or whatever because of that little dirt patch there. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. You guys let me know your thoughts on that. How did that get in there? Fishtail is back. Oh, this one's not on a good card either. That's fine. Found a bunch of Fishtail because him and Grem and Lightning McQueen with Shovel for that matter all were in case T. They were all brand new Thailand variants, representing, not a word, but you get what I'm saying. Cars 1, 2, and 3. I thought that was cool. McQueen with Shovel, Cars 1, Grem 2, and Fishtail, obviously Thunder Hollow, Cars 3. And they were all in the Walmart case, which is a rare thing that all technically like new things in a case are in the Walmart version. Especially if it exceeds like 1 or 2. Like if there's just one, it's a good chance it could fit in there. Like, we think back to case P with Ernie Gearson. Ernie Gearson was the only, like, new thing in that case, and he was in the Walmart version of it. Case T had 3, and yeah, Walmart went 3 for 3, excluding, unfortunately, Joe Don Jackson. That was a great re-release, but it didn't really matter, as Joe Don Jackson had been released from Thailand before. But yeah, Fishtail, pretty cool. Another solid Thailand variant I think Mattel did a good job with. Maybe not quite as good again as Grem, but yeah, love the artwork. I always like seeing this guy. You got some other Cars 3 friends on the back. Should show Joe Don Jackson, in my opinion, and obviously Slim Hood, but beggars can't be choosers, right? So yeah, found plenty of him, Grem and McQueen with shovel. Oh my goodness, guys. Holy cow. What the hell? This is like an uber mega chase, right? It is a perfectly smooth, symmetrical cardboard flap. Remember the one in the 2-pack case that I unboxed a couple days ago was all crumpled up. And I mean, that's still a super chase, but like this is beautiful. I mean, wow. All right. I'm going to have to stow that away. Keep that in a very safe place. Okay. Moving on here to something a lot less exciting than the cardboard flap, and that is Strip Weathers, aka the King. Interesting that they put 2 of him in this case. Usually that doesn't happen. I think I remarked on this as well. Having 2 of the King in a case may not have ever happened before in the history of cars. At least probably not since like 2007 or something like that. But here he is. The King, very popular release. Richard Petty, based on a real car. Lots of history, lots of lore, real life connections there. So contributes to his popularity. And yeah, never see this guy peg warm at all, at least for me. And so I will gladly welcome the King into this case, both of them with open arms, even if it does feel like a little bit of a random decision to put 2 in this case. I mean, 2 Sallys, something that we've kind of come to expect, but 2 the Kings, that's kind of bold. I like it, kind of exotic. Oh, we've had another Piston Cup patch, PCP. Dave Alternators with another crease car. Man, we've gotten some bad ones in this case, so I guess it's not an isolated incident like I had thought. Revolting, Cars 1, stock car, like his 3rd or 4th time being released from Thailand. Probably like his 3rd or 4th case this year as well. Peg warmer, gross, done. Slightly less offensive is a Chuck Armstrong here, just because Mood Springs is that much more of a popular and obviously historical sponsor with the race damage Mood Springs element to it. This is, obviously nowhere near race damage Mood Springs, but it's Chuck Armstrong still, and you can make a custom. I think I have seen quite a few people make a damaged race damage Mood Springs out of this Thailand variant of Chuck, although again, not his first rodeo from Thailand and not his first case. Just like Dave, Floyd, Claude, this is like their 4th case they've been included in this year. It might even be more than that because Case W is like the 9th case of the year because we only have X, Y, and Z after this. 12 cases per year. All right. Oh. Okay, all right. I thought we had 3 of Race and Rescue McQueen, which would have been a little tough for me to digest. But fortunately, or unfortunately, one of them is a road trip Lightning McQueen. Yeah, no, not happy about this, but it is what it is. Is this the only road trip car in the entire case? It might be. That is crazy, actually. I mean, none of these were in the case. Would have been great if they brought back Barney Cones or Margaret Motoray, but as it stands, they are going to only be in that first case of the year, Case N. Same thing with the Mater with Working Toa, probably only going to be in Case S unless something changes. Niall Speed Cone has been in a couple. I think Cade McQueen was in a couple. Logan Gearsall was in Case N and P, I think, right? N and P? That makes sense. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe their analytics show that Cars on the Road just is not that popular. No one really likes the characters. I don't know, guys. I really have no idea. The sudden shift away from it and onto all this expanded universe stuff. They still did a lot of OTR last year, but clearly, they were shifting the GRC, and then this year giving us just one new character from the show, and the rest of everything new being either Thailand variants or Race and Rescue. I really have no idea. I thought it was popular. They introduced some cool looking characters. It's a Disney Plus show. A lot of people have I don't know, guys. I really have no idea, but a lot of people at Mattel HQ smarter than us. I mean, maybe not. I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt, but assuming they are smarter than us, and that's why they have that job and not us, Cars on the Road, getting the short end of the stick. We'll see how they treat it next year, but don't have high hopes considering it's the 20th anniversary of Cars 1. So you'd expect them to lean on the nostalgia factor for that. But anyway here, this certainly has no nostalgia whatsoever, at least not yet. Race and Rescue Lightning McQueen, ushering in the new Race and Rescue Series Expanded Universe line for 2025. There were 2 of him in case V, and now he's back with 2 in case W. I think this is a solid McQueen. Definitely not as popular as GRC McQueen last year. I mean, just look at the views on the videos. I know my GRC McQueen video came out long ago, but that video popped off relative for my standards upon release. My video on this guy, bad. It's like, all right, just like another car. It's like, whatever. It's basically like Cho. Like, you would expect this video to do quite well. A new version of McQueen, especially police and fire related. And so then I questioned Mattel's analytical decision making for this, because you'd think, okay, if they're shifting from cars on the road to stuff like this, they think this is what is trendy and hip, race, fire, rescue, police type stuff. Like, that's what the kiddos want, I guess. I don't think they really care much about collectors. They probably think most collectors are kind of in already. They're kind of snared. I think these are to get new people in, especially on the younger side. That's just my guess. Their analytics show fire, police, kind of in, so do something tied into that, but also somehow make it racing related. So that's how you got the rally race stuff intertwined. And yet, I was expecting my videos on that stuff to do a little bit better. I feel like the Chick video doing the best is because it's Chick Hicks. McQueen and Mater's video, not good at all. And yet he, like I said, is the most popular one, most coveted. Maybe not the most popular, but just in terms of supply and demand, has made him very coveted. I don't know. Just my 2 cents on it all. I'm just rolling with it. I like some of the stuff. I don't like some of the stuff. I'm open-minded on a review-by-review basis, like this Sarge here, which we are going to encounter, I believe, very soon. Doesn't seem like a great release to me, but I'm definitely open to a mind change. Oh, here's another Cars on the Road release, and an unexpected one at that. It's another McQueen, Cryptid Buster, Lightning McQueen. This one's been in a couple cases, including the first case of the year. I'm fine with it. It's one of the more exotic McQueens. A lot going on with the antenna and the roof rack and all that, the luggage. Pretty cool version of him, if you ask me. I remember being pretty excited about this when he came out in like April of 2023. Kind of an underrated, forlorn version of McQueen. I feel like Cave McQueen, Deputy McQueen get all the attention, the slime, the space creature version. But this one's really great, too. So, yeah, I was not expecting him to be in this case. So you have 2 on-the-road character type, 2 on-the-road releases. They're the same character. But, anyways, I have left the 4 new releases in this case. Truly 3 new releases and 1 new Thailand variant. So let's dig in here with Sarge, Race and Rescue Sarge, based on a pit crew member Sarge, as he's got, instead of the fuel can, a fire extinguisher. How creative is that? Now, I will say, I did not know he had this little doohickey on the back, like a first aid kit almost. That's cool. I like that. I just feel like he'd be better almost if they didn't have that roof decal. Everything else looks pretty solid. I like the fire extinguisher. The new expression looks pretty cool as well. I would like to maybe even open up my Pit Crew Member Sarge Thailand variant in my review of this, because I think that's a very applicable comparison to be made. But yeah, I think the artwork looks really good. They seem to have updated the fact that the canopy part here is a little bit of a lighter shade of green, more tan. I don't know, it just looks a little bit brighter to me there. It's not perfectly accurate. You can see how the stripes are aligned here. Not quite the same, but you get the gist of it. Maybe this guy will grow on me. I hope he does. And on the back now, you have the 3 from Case V all united. I don't know why Sarge was the lucky soul to be included on the back of McQueen, Chick, and Mater. They're not in the same case. Maybe originally that was the plan, to debut with 4 of them. But yeah, Sarge slipped to Case W here. Next up is Race and Rescue Red, who will probably end up being my favorite from the case, although he is rescaled now. This is the first time ever that Red has been released as a single. He has always either been in a multi-pack, 2-pack, or deluxe. He started off in 2006 as a 2-pack release with Stanley, which is a common combination that we've seen now the last couple years. Difference being the size, right? So this is your original 2006 version of Red that now is the same exact size as we're getting here with the Race and Rescue version. In 2011, when Red was upgraded from 2-pack status to deluxe status, he grew to a more accurate size, more in scale with 155 scale, more in scale with all the other characters. It was great. You know, a little bit less metal. You know, this back portion now is plastic. He's got this big mouth plate, but whatever. It was kind of cool. Like Cars 2 came along and we all got a new, more accurate version of Red. That's what Cars 2 gave us. It was a gift, right? And Red continued like that, being released as a deluxe almost every year for a long time. Up until deluxes were canceled, right? So in 23, deluxes were axed. No more. So Red, what do they do with Red? Put him back in a 2-pack. And the way that they designed the blister in such a boxy way, along with Stanley just being a little accessory, plastic accessory, they were able to maintain that size of Red. So even though when he was released in a 2-pack, from 2006 to 2010, essentially, he was the smaller size. When he went back to being released in a 2-pack in 23 and 24, he maintained the deluxe size. So my thought toward this is I'd rather have Red be released in a 2-pack for Race and Rescue and maintain the larger scale than being downsized and being released as a single here for the first time ever. It's just random. It feels weird. It's cheap. And I am guessing that this back portion is plastic still, though. Like, it's not, they didn't, even though they went back to this original size here, they did not keep this part that my thumbs are holding on to die-cast metal. Now, we'll see what happens, but it feels lighter than this. Like, this whole thing feels lighter than the original 2006 Red, which is what we got from 6 to 7, 2006 to 2010, I should say. Why not release a full-size Red Race and Rescue in a 2-pack with Kathy Copter, who is going to be a more plastic-heavy, cheaper to make, cheaper to manufacture release, so then you keep the overall cost down and you're able to keep the original, more accurate size of Red. I don't know, it's just my 2 cents on that. I will talk more about it, which, I mean, I just kind of went on like a 4-minute rant there. I'll talk about it in my review of Red here. He looks cool. I like the yellow wheels. I like the blue design, but obviously now he is an inaccurate size. Although, does it really matter? What is accurate when we don't even know? There's no book, no short, no nothing yet on Race and Rescue, so it really could be just whatever they want. The artwork does look pretty cool. I do think that they did a pretty good job repurposing all their regular artworks into the Race and Rescue stuff here. On the back, you get Sarge, McQueen, Chick, and Jackson Storm, who we'll get to momentarily here. But, yeah, I mean, I think Red will still be my favorite. It is nice that he is as a single for the first time ever. Like, that is kind of a big deal, I guess. Here we have Rally Race Jackson Storm. This is a weird blister. All Jackson Storm blisters aren't like this, where there are indentations for the tires. I don't think they're like that. That's very strange. Now, first impression, I'm not big on this guy because he seems to borrow elements from previous versions of Jackson Storm, like Silver Jackson Storm, where you get this from, Thomasville Jackson Storm, where you get the red accents from, and maybe NASCAR Jackson Storm a little bit as well. It just seems kind of like a regurgitation of those three, like a hybridization. Maybe my mind will be changed when we review him here soon, but that's just kind of my thought on it. But I'm glad that he got the rally race treatment and not the rescue treatment. 2.0 looks good in gray there, I will say that. And yeah, I'm open to changing my mind on him when we review him. Card back shows everything, just swapped him out for red. And that is all the race and rescuing fun in this video. Ryan Shields is going to close off the case, and I am glad he's on a mint card because I just reviewed the Thailand variant of him the other day. I got also from GetMeCollecitlbes, but just a solo one-off car that I bought because I knew there was only one Ryan Shields in this case, which is kind of dumb. You got 4 new items in this case, and there's just one of all of them. I know you're not going to do 2 reds. He's too girthy. But 2 Ryan Shields certainly would have made sense, more so than 2 Floyd Mulvihills, 2 Sallys, 2 Kings even. Or 2 Jackson Storms. Do 2 Jackson Storms. Like, those are characters you traditionally double up on anyways. Jackson Storm and a Piston Cup Racer. So, a couple balks I have with that. But check out my Thailand variant review of this guy. He's actually awesome. They have made his color more accurate. Although there are a couple weird things about him that I will leave as a surprise in that video if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I was so excited about it that I got him, early, reviewed him and all that, and then we're doing the case unboxing. So now we could just focus on all the race and rescue stuff. But yeah. On the back there, you get McQueen with shovel. Have not seen him on a card back before. Ryan Shields here. So guys, let me know in the comment section below, who is your favorite from the case? I think a lot of people are going to have different opinions on this. You have your Piston Cup loyalists who are going to say Ryan Shields. You're going to have kind of just neutral people who might take red. You have some rally race fans that I think might like Jackson Storm the most. Might even be some fans of Sarge. Probably not as many as these 3, but certainly possible. Let me know your favorite down in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing. It's a lot of rambling from me, but there's a lot of information that I want to provide you guys with so you can make well-informed decisions yourself. I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye now. Again, so don't pout or